Live.
Perfect. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. I know your calendars are full, so the fact that you've taken out the time to join this webinar tells me one thing. You're super serious about solving a problem that's a big issue in the world of K-12 publishing, and that is how do we truly engage students with the ebooks that we are creating? We are digitizing faster than ever, but student engagement is still dropping and they're tuning out. Teachers are not seeing results, and the publishing teams are so stretched thin that they can't start over. With the attention span also shrinking, average ebooks won't cut it. If your ebooks don't connect, they don't convert. And that's a simple fact of the world. They won't turn into usage or renewals or any long-term value for your team or the schools that you serve. Because even students stop engaging, teachers will also stop relying. And when usage drops, the entire business drops. It's not just an engagement issue, it's also a revenue issue for you. And that's the reality. Today's webinar, however, isn't just about theory. It's about action. Simple, proven ways to fix what's working, what's not. So let's look at the agenda of what we are going to cover in this webinar. So we are going to share 3 insider strategies that only the top publishers have access to boost student engagement, a clear, actionable next step you can apply this month itself to see those strategies in action. You'll also get a chance to see the KITABOO platform and how they can help you execute those strategies. And finally, a surprise, which, by the way, is not for everyone, only the selected few, and you'll know why you are the chosen one. Now, before we move forward, I'd just like you guys to tell me what this number means. And this number is 30. Tell me in the chat, guys, what do you think of this number? What comes to your mind when this number comes in front of you? I want people to enter things in the chat so that I also know that you guys are engaging and with me so far. I can see one comment from Daniel. He says that's the number of dogs I want to pet every day. Oh, I might join along with you. Right. That's something even I want to do. But that's not what what this number means. So the next one says that's the number of calories I burned today. That's something you shouldn't have said here. But that's again not what this number means. Any more comments?
Yeah.
Well, I guess people don't know what this number means.
30 days
so I'll keep
past
it
September.
at that. That's also not what it means. But I'll reveal it at the end, and I promise it's going to be bigger than it looks. It ties directly into something that could make a real difference to your publishing this year. Now, coming to the topic, I needed someone to lead this conversation who had the experience of working with the students as well as working with the publishers. And Leslie brings that. She's an educator by training and someone who's worked directly with the students and seen what holds their attention and what doesn't. And also understands the publishers and how they play a huge role in the learning environment. And now at KITABOO, she partners with publishing teams day in and day out to close that gap between the content that's delivered and something that's truly experienced. So everyone, keep your notepads ready. There's something incredibly insightful coming your way. Leslie, over to you.
Thank you so much, Darshit. Hi, everyone. Hello. That was very lovely. I am really excited to chat with all of you. I'm going to start with just the easiest thing, the easiest question that I can come up with for this, which is, what is your biggest challenge when it comes to student engagement? Can you let me know in the chat? I'm going to pop down here. I'd love to see, what is your biggest challenge when it comes to student engagement? Let me know in the chat. Anyone? Letting me know in the chat. Anybody? Oh, let's see. Yeah, I want to know, what is it that you, behavior issues. Yeah, behavior issues for sure. What else? What else are you all experiencing as your biggest challenges? Virtual learning, cell phones, fresh and exciting and relatable. Yes, 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 yes. I feel all of this. So I want to ask all of you, how far away is your cell phone from you right now? Let me tell you, mine's right here. Mine's literally just, I put my right hand down and it's right there. How far is your cell phone from you right now? Pocket right by me. Yeah. Yeah, folks, you're not alone. 5 inches. Yes, Kim. Yes. And here's the thing. Have you ever been in a training, in a webinar, in a situation, a meeting where you are also here, but you're here? Right? These are machines that are designed to keep us distracted, right? To keep us engaged here. So the expectation that students will not be distracted by technology is unreasonable. That's not something we do. So expecting that from students is not really something that is practical, right? But I do want to talk to you about engagement myths that exist. And one thing I've heard over and over and over again is shorter is better. Shorter is better. Let's make it like we're talking, right? Attention span is so short. Shorter is better. But guess what? Our research tells us something completely different. Our research tells us, so even if we go and we look at tools like TikTok or YouTube, for example, YouTube Shorts, right? More people are doing YouTube Shorts. More people are in doing TikTok videos. But here's what we do know, that the engagement is actually bigger and the engagement is stronger for those longer videos. Engagement is stronger for those longer pieces. People are less likely to create a discussion. They're less likely to comment. They're less likely to like when it is when there's a shorter piece of media. We want folks to engage, and the real trick is about making it meaningful. Meaningful is more important than brief, right? If it matters to me, if it matters to your reader, if it matters to the folks participating in this education, then they're going to be more likely to engage with it. So today I'm going to talk to you about some research that exists, things that I've learned through my my work with marketing professionals, my work with psychology professionals, my work with education professionals, and this is how we can really walk away. I want you to walk away with 3 pieces that you can say, I can make a difference when I have these 3 pieces of information. So what sticks? What sticks is emotion, storytelling, and visuals. So what is this about? So this is what we know to be true. And I want you to even think about this. I learned this from a fantastic effective business communication professor of all things. His research is around what gets people to engage in reading and participating in presentations. Well, it's about the I, me, my, or you, your, you are, if you're the reader, right? If I am reading something, even if it's an email, folks, if you start with a you, your, you are statement, people are more likely to be engaged with it. It's the same with kids. We are these creatures that we are interested in ourselves and what's important to us. So starting with something about us, emotion, and about me, the reader, they're more likely to be engaged. Also, storytelling. Let's think about this. We love movies. We love TV. We love stories. We've been sharing stories for centuries, for thousands of years. This is how we pass things down. And we know this as educators, right? We know this in the back of our head that like storytelling is important. Oh, wait, it really is the most important thing. Because these little movie creators in our mind, our brains, they're going to create a storyline if you, the people that are creating and providing the materials, are creating the story. And we want you to create your absolute best, strongest story with details and sense-rich messaging and things that are going to stick in our brains longer with storytelling. So I want to engage you, and I want to engage that reader and that participant in a way where they're at their highest level, and their brains are at their highest level when they're engaging with stories. And then lastly, visuals, which I want to talk to you about here. I'm going to give you an example. So dual coding theory, the idea is our visuals plus our words together. An example I love comes from United States Peace Corps, arguably one of the best language training programs in the United States, is the United States Peace Corps. And so let me give you an example. I'm a returned Peace Corps volunteer, and my first day in Mongolia, we had our teachers there ready to teach us Mongolian. Of course, Mongolian is one of the U.S. Department of State says it's one of the most difficult languages for Americans to learn. How are we going to do this? How are we going to do this? The first thing that we did was we stood around in a circle, and our teacher looked over at one of my fellow volunteers, stamped on her foot, and immediately jumped out and said, "Uchlere, uchlere," and then looked at the person next to her and stamped on their foot and said, "Uchlere, uchlere." And then we went around in a circle, stepping on each other's toes. "Uchlere, uchlere," right? And this is, I'm sorry. One of the first things you definitely want to learn in a language. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But it was that visual for all of us, that experience of, oh, there is, now I know what that looks like, and I hear the word in my head when I think of that. So I want you to think about the importance of that dual coding. This is some of the best language training in our country, again, and some of the best education is we are pairing those visuals with the words. So I want you to think about how you do that. What does that look like for you in your publishing, in your education? Next, let's talk about static content versus interactive content. Now, let me know in the chat, what is most important to you? What is the most important thing that you want to teach with your books? What is the most important things you want to teach in your classroom? Can you let me know in the chat? What is the most important thing you want them to walk away with the ability to have? And while you're writing, I'm going to take a sip of my water because I want to hear what you have to say. Critical thinking, empathy. I love that. What else? What else is the most important thing you want them to walk away with? Critical thinking, again. Self-monitor, self-correct. So anywhere in there, to read fluently, yes, confidence. Oh, inspiration, become lifelong learners. Yes. So anywhere in there, does it say, I want them to just be able to read I want them to be able to read a bunch of text? Is that the most important thing to you? That they read a bunch of text? And can we all agree that education has changed over time? I have a book right back here on my shelf called Tinkering Towards Utopia, about how the education system has changed, and we are getting better and better and better at it over time. We have pitfalls, but we go back up, and we're getting closer and closer to that. We're getting better and better at it, and education's changing. Yeah, we want them to be able to apply the knowledge. So it's not this old school idea of we want everyone to be able to read a dense copy, dense text. That's not what's most important. We want them to be critical thinkers. We want them to be able to be empathetic. We want them to be able to understand self-monitor, self-control. We want them to be able to interact with language and be able to learn from language. But that doesn't mean that they can just enjoy reading thick amounts of texts. That's not our goal. So let's talk about the interactive content. Yes, it is much different than what a lot of us grew up with. Yes, it is much different than, this idea that we want everyone to go and read, the smarter you are, the bigger the book you can read, the more dense text. We want them to appreciate. We want them to be lifelong learners. We want them to be excited about learning, not necessarily just be great at decoding thick amounts of text. So interactive activity, we want to give them something that, again, is emotional, is storytelling, has visuals, and attaches to what's important to them, and then gives them the opportunity to move forward and be active and use what they've learned immediately. So I want you to think about how those two things balance each other out when we're actually looking at how we interact with publications or materials in the classroom, and how students do. Now, let's go back into what some research says about practical strategies. So psychology, marketing, education. I love this. I'm going to ask you if you have a piece of paper, or even if you can pull up an extra, like a note in your computer. If I said to you, I want you to choose whichever topic you want. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. I want you to write either as many beer brands as you can, or if drinking isn't your thing, how many candy brands can you name? I'm going to give you 30 seconds. I'm going to set a timer here because my phone is very close. I'm going to set a timer for 30 seconds. Start writing down as many beer brands as you can. Ready? Go ahead. That timer is rolling. Just write that down. What are beer brands or candies that come up for you? What are some things? Just want you to think. Just as it's rolling, what stuff comes out for you? Okay. Now, I want you to look at that list and see, is there anything you notice about that list? Because here's how our brain works. Probably if you're looking at it and you look at those first few things you've listed, there's probably a theme. So when I used to teach effective business communication at DePaul, typically the first list that came out for my students was the cheapest beers were the first thing. So students would immediately, your brain is chunking that idea, right? And you start listing, okay, here's the cheapest ones. Or if you're candies, maybe you're starting with like, okay, I'm just listing a bunch of chocolate. And then maybe the next start you see, oh, there's a bunch of gummy ones. And you're noticing that you're clumping them together. You're breaking this into chunks. Our brains love to chunk. Our brains love to create things that connect together. So when you're thinking about practical strategies, starting with chunking. Favorites, yes, Tiffany, right? Your favorites or what come up first for you? What else did you all see as themes? What are some things that came up for you? Because I'm thinking, as Tiffany says favorites, it makes me think of that second point, which is meaningful. Oh, by region. Yes, Tom. That always comes up too, right? By region. Then you get to, you get to international, and then it's international by region. Individual preference. Yes. So this is meaningful to you. You're starting with things that are meaningful to you. And so this is your next practical. How do you create meaning? And a lot of ways you can do that is from choice-based pathways, right? When I am doing customer education, sometimes I refer to it as buckshot. I'm going to give you lots of options. I'm going to share with you 1 to 3 minute videos. I'm going to share with you knowledge-based articles. I'm going to share with you a community you can go to and talk to your colleagues doing something similar. These are the choice-based pathways for adult learners, and it's similar for students, for non-adult learners as well. Give them opportunities to jump into what is going to matter to them, what is meaningful to them. Because we're not all coming to the answer the same way. We're not all coming to that lifelong learning the same way. My mother, for example, was an English teacher. She became a lifelong reader really through how she learned to engage with books. I became a lifelong learner because of the teachers that I had that excited me about different topics, and I wanted to dive into those topics. So think about all these different pathways, choice-based pathways, which allow you to have more opportunity to gain the attention and the excitement of those students. And then lastly, jigsaw techniques. I know a lot of you know about jigsaw techniques. I know this is something that you've done before, you've engaged with before. And the idea here is we want a group of folks to come together and teach everyone else. I see this with my 10-year-old school even, right? That there is a specific topic, they are working together, and we know that jigsaw techniques, we know that when you give those students the power to engage with a topic, own the topic, be the teacher in the topic, that they are more likely to be excited about what they're learning, to hold on to it longer. And actually, there's research that shows that those learners are more excited because they're learning from their colleagues, they're learning from their peers. Think about that for you. Think about, would you rather hear from me or would you rather hear from one of your colleagues? One of folks, that's why communities are awesome. That's why online communities are super powerful, because we can connect with people who are doing things that we're doing in different parts of the world, in different parts of the country. And that's really jigsaw techniques at its core, Now, let me share with you some case studies of things that we've done here at KITABOO, publishers we worked with, and how they've been able to take action with some of these. So for example, there is a US-based K-12 publisher who had mathematics workbooks, and their goal was to preserve that structure. They wanted to make sure that they were still creating digital exercises, but preserve what already existed. We were able to convert those workbooks for them and also create interactive ebook opportunities while still having very accurate renderings of what they had at the core. And what was the finale? What was the what happened as the impact? Well, 70% increase of that student engagement. Because again, it's not about making it smaller or shorter or something less than what it is. It's about making it something engaging and exciting and finding different ways to get to that excitement and engaging those students. Now, an Italian K-12 publisher, they were wanting to increase that offline access, right? You might have that material in front of you, but you may not have the internet to do it. So we wanted to improve that performance for their ebooks. Well, we were able to create that offline access, optimize that content, so the offline engagement, so the offline opportunities were more exciting, were more engaging, were better ways for students to interact with the materials. And then what was the result? What was the impact? 48% increase in active users, in folks that are getting in. Create an active user is not, hey, I just jumped in for a second and I proved that I was on the book for a hot second. It was, I got in there and I spent time and I was learning from what I was doing. And I wasn't just sitting around. I was going to the next activity. I was clicking on different pieces. I was highlighting. I was taking notes. All of this is possible. And all of this shows engagement. And that's our goal at KITABOO, is to get you excited, get your readers and your learners excited about that engagement and taking those next steps. Now, what matters to the people who are the educators, to the people who are going to be using these things? Well, the number one thing is ease of use. There are so many technologies. I will tell you, as someone, my doctorate is actually in higher education. And I will tell you, I have said for years, if I could come up with one technology that encompasses all the things, all the technologies that are used in higher education, I would be a billionaire, because there is nothing more frustrating than how many tools there are out there in education. Great, it's great that it's possible. There's so many things that are possible. But man, if there was one way and just one easy tool, and this is our goal. This is our goal, is to really make this, to make the learning curve not a curve at all. Make it a flat line. Make it just straight line to, I walk into that technology and it is so user-friendly, I know exactly what to do. Flexibility. We want it to work with any kind of classroom needs. And this is what educators are saying. Make this easy for me in a kindergarten, make this easy for me in a rural high school, make this easy for me in a city, large city of middle schoolers. That's what we want. That's what we want to do. And that's what they're looking for as well. And then lastly, assessment is what you need. An actionable assessment to make sure you can show, are we really seeing the way students are learning? Can we measure what's going on? Can we share that up to our superintendents? Can we share that up to our school boards? Can we say, not only are they in the books, but we can show that they're learning something from it. That's what our educators are valuing. Those three big things over and over and over again. We hear it over and over again. So this is what I'm asking for you. I'm going to ask you to start with one simple step. We talked about a lot of different processes today, a lot of different theories, a lot of different techniques. And I want you to start with one step to get real results. I want you to think about what you've learned today, what excited you, what maybe piqued your interest, and try to make a change based on that one thing. So with that in mind, I want to show you, I should say, my colleague, JC, is going to show you what is possible with our help, with KITABOO's help. So I'm going to pass it over to JC, and he's going to walk you through everything that's possible with KITABOO.
Thank you, Leslie. Thank you so much. That should be good. Thank you so much. And thank you all for joining the session today. My name is JC. I'm the VP of Sales at KITABOO, and I'm going to walk you through a demo of our platform and show you how ebook can be made interactive. And before doing that, a couple of things. We talked about the dual coding theory. We talked about the instruction design strategies and all of that, right? So when it comes to digitizing content, a lot of the small to medium sized publishers, uh, they just take the print book as it is and then convert it into a PDF or an EPUB at best, and then start delivering it as an ebook, right? So when you just take the print book as it is and start delivering it as an ebook, it is not interactive. That's exactly what Leslie was talking about. So you need to start looking at how can you make it more interactive. And there are two aspects to it. One is the instruction design and the strategy part of it, and then the second is the implementation itself. And we've been working with plenty of publishers. There's about 120 plus active customers on KITABOO. And the biggest challenge that we see with a lot of them is the investment. What is the return on investment? We have seen services in the market which cost thousands of dollars to convert just one of the books, making it an interactive ebook. And even when they make it an interactive ebook, whether their existing delivery channel supports that format or not is another question altogether. So those are the two big challenges. And in our case studies also that we talked about, we've seen that the interactive content increases engagement and learning retention as well. But how do you make it simple for a small and medium-sized publisher to implement this? So that's what I'm going to show today. There's a studio aspect where it is the backend. You take your plain PDF, how do you convert it into an EPUB and quickly make it interactive? And then the player where the readers can consume the content with the interactivities added. With that, I'm going to share my screen. I request you all to make your media player section enlarged so you can see the demo properly and not just see my my video. I hope you're seeing my screen now. So I talked about two things, right? One is the admin, where you get to convert your book into an interactive ebook, and it's a simple, easy to use tool. There's no coding required. You don't need any technology skills, or you don't need any coding skills to convert a book into an EPUB. You just upload the book into the KITABOO Studio. Just by clicking on a few steps, you add a book, and then you click on create, add the metadata. Even the data metadata can be imported through an Excel sheet, and it gets converted into an EPUB. So you can start with either a PDF or even a Word document or a PPT that gets converted into an EPUB. And once it is converted into an EPUB, you get this magic wand. You click on this enrich button, and it opens a markup tool where you can add different set of interactivities, whether it is adding additional images. We talked about dual coding theory, right? So visuals plus words make it more engaging for the readers. So you can add images. There's audio snippets that you can add. There's HTML interactivity. We talked about gamification. We talked about jigsaw techniques and all that. So you can add any HTML interactivity also into the content. It could be a simulation as well if you're looking at a science content or science book. And it could be that there's plenty of other markup tools that you can add and make your content interactive. At this point, let me quickly show you how an interactive book looks like in the player for the readers, and then we can come back to the studio to see how that was created. Now I'm logged into this KITABOO player, which is the student interface where the students can access the content. There's a bunch of different tools available. If I have to talk about the KITABOO platform, I can talk about it for 3-4 hours together, but I'm going to stick to the topic today, which is interactive content to make engaging ebooks. So once I open the ebook, this is on the left side, you see all of these different tools which are available. And then you have a resources tab. In your regular ebook, you look at the table of contents, and then at best you'll probably see your bookmarks and notes. But since this is an enhanced ebook, there are additional resources which are added to this book, and you'll be able to see all of those resources in the resources tab. This makes it a slightly custom EPUB package, so that's where the readers will also have to be compatible. KITABOO can support enhanced ebooks as well. So if you want to go through what interactivities are added, you can look at chapter wise and go to specific interactivity that you want to use, or you can go through the book in a sequential manner. So let me just go to the book. The navigation includes your table of content, and also you have your arrows to move between the chapters. So adding a glossary to your textbook and making the glossary also interactive. For example, you can add a video element to it to explain what it is, and it could be additional images or audio of how that sounds. So all this can be added to any of the words. So that's your glossary. Then your images can be opened in a enlarged full screen view so that the image is visible properly, especially if they're accessing on smaller devices. And you can add audio as well to the content. And the audio content can be system generated, or you can also have professional recorded audios embedded into the book itself. If there are multiple images, you can create slideshows of that. All these will act as timeout activities, and then you get a little break from reading the long text and then interact with some of these elements. These are all multimedia that you can add. It could either be, for example, a video could be either embedded in the book itself, or it could be hosted in YouTube or Vimeo or any other service and linked out. So that if it is embedded in the book itself, it can work offline also. And not just audio and video, you can also add quizzes. It could be, if you have a workbook, you can convert that into a quiz, or you can create an HTML-based quiz in the studio and then embed in the book itself. It can be timed, untimed. There could be different points available. And then if a teacher is assigning the content to the class, then there could be gamification elements added to this as well, like leaderboards and badges and all of that. Assessment itself, we support different types of questions. Choice multiple choice, fill up the blanks, drag and drop. So this is a drop down example. So these are different types of interactivities, especially when it comes to assessments that you can use. Or if you have your own assessment packages, you can just upload that to the KITABOO platform and use it as it is. Now, let me just close this. Yeah, there is audio also, which is embedded into the book. I'm trying to show all the different types of interactivities that can be added. It can also act as a break, as I said, when you're reading through the content. And if you have a workbook, that workbook itself can be converted into an interactive workbook, or you can add your answers, or you can create an HTML assessment using the same and then embed into the book. One of the other examples of the assessments. This is something that we didn't see earlier. Matching of the pairs. And if it is math content, you can have graphs, you can have we also have a math editor so that the equations also can be solved using the KITABOO interactive tools. And we also have AI widget, which is embedded into the book. So the readers, when they're going through the content, they can ask AI for the learning objectives or summaries, and then they can also ask for questions and assessments. So these assessments can be used for self-assessment purposes. You can also create multiple flashcards, and I can do it either for a particular chapter or for the entire book. And I can also select a different language to get those summary and learning objectives. Let me quickly do a full chapter. In a matter of few seconds, it's going to give me the summary of the book, then the learning objectives of this book or the chapter, and then I also asked for the flashcards, so I'm going to get the flashcards as well. So these are all created on the fly using AI, and the same tools are available in the backend also, so that the publisher can create these questions without having without having to invest a lot in the resources, and create these using the system and tools, and then have a layer of editorial on top of it to approve and then publish it, so that the time and money both are saved while creating the assessments. Now, going back to the markup tool, so you saw that there was audio, there was a video, and all of that. So it's as simple as just going to the page where you want to add the interactivity, and then just say if I want to add a video, I can just click and position it wherever I want, and then add a title to it, upload the video, or add a link to it, and then publish. It's as simple as that, and not like using an expensive service and spending thousands of dollars to create an interactive ebook. You can use the tool. You don't need any coding skills to use this. You can use any of these markups and drag and drop, create your assessments or interactive content, and then just publish it so that it's available for your users. Sorry about that. This preview is not working, it seems. I probably need to save. And you also have your WCAG settings. So you can also make sure that when you're creating those enhanced EPUBs, your content is also compliant with your accessibility requirements. I think there's a lot of different features to be seen and explored. We would love to have a one-on-one with you if there are specific needs. Again, depending on the age groups that you address, there could be different strategies that can be used in different elements of the interactivities. So we can have one-on-one conversations. We can show you a detailed demo of the platform, and also help you create these interactive modules. With that, I think, is Darshit still there?
I'm here,
Darshit?
I'm here.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm here.
It's your magic now.
Thank you, JC. That was so interesting and a great walkthrough. It's always, powerful to see that whatever we talk isn't just theory; it's also practical. There are these workflows that already exist. They're working. They're working fast. Now, I'm sure everyone must be super eager to know what that number means. I mean, what is this guy talking about? It just shows a random number and then just disappears. Let me come to that slide. I won't keep you waiting on that for longer. If you can push that slide.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's 30 days.
Oh, sorry.
Yes. So that's exactly the number of days that's remaining for the European Accessibility Act to kick in, right? That 30 more days to make your content compliant, 30 more days to protect your access to 27 huge markets, that 30 more days to before it's no longer a choice. It becomes a consequences. If you don't do it, you lose access, you lose your revenue, so on and so forth. We don't want that to happen to you, and we want to help you with that, right? So with that, we have a very, very special offer for people who are with us so far And mind you, this is something that you'll not find on the website or in our emails or anywhere else. This is something that you'll only find here. This is an offer where we'll make one module, make it fully accessible, fully compliant, and fully interactive for you to deploy directly to your districts, to your schools, and see a comparison of the original version versus the newer version, and see for yourself how interactive it can become for your students. If you want to join this offer, you'll have to scan this code right now, because this code is only here. It's not going to be in the website or any email communication. That's something only here. Want to join in? Just scan this QR code right now. You'll be asked a couple of questions. You'll be asked to fill in a form, and then someone from our team will reach out to you within the next 24 hours. But you don't have to do anything else. Just have to scan this code right now. And with that, while you guys are scanning the code, I would open the floor for any Q&A.
Yeah.
Any questions you have for JP or Leslie, you can throw them away to us. We have a couple of minutes left, so we can definitely go in deeper and try to solve your questions.
And you can see there's a pop-up on your screen as well with the poll question.
Yeah.
So,
and we would like to know how many of you, if you've tried interactive ebooks and how has that worked. So if you've had any experience with interactive ebooks and enhanced EPUBs, let us know.
Yeah. How many people here, let us know in the chat, how many people here have interacted with ePublishGate? I'm interested to know.
So I can see one question coming in.
Yeah.
Can you speak to digital rights management from Tom? So JC, you want to answer that question?
Yeah. Sure, I can take that. Digital rights management, Tom, KITABOO has its own DRM algorithm. It takes care of, so whenever your content is getting uploaded to the platform, it gets encrypted, and then only the KITABOO reader can decrypt and deliver the content. There's online access protection for copy, print, all of that. And then offline access, you can access the content only with the KITABOO readers. So even if the content is downloaded, it works just like your Netflix. It works within the app, and then you cannot take it outside of the app. We have a 256-bit encryption on the content. So that's at a high level. But if you want a detailed deep dive of that and want to talk more about the technology behind it, we'd love to catch up and have a separate call with you.
Melissa has a question about the accessibility. Yeah. How we handle accessibility.
Great question. When it comes to accessibility, KITABOO platform is WCAG 2.2 AA compliant. So we take care of all of the necessary requirements for the AA standards. And as long as your content is accessible, the platform takes care of the delivery and compliance when it comes to the delivery. But if your content itself is not accessible, we can do the audits of your content, and we have accessibility consultants who can help you in converting or making your content accessible. We also have another tool which can help you create alt text if you have images within the book and want to be able to create alt text for those images, because that's one of the key things in accessibility. So our tool can help you generate alt text for those images, and then your reviewers and editors can review, accept, make edits, and then go on. So that would cut down your price at least by 50% using that tool if you're looking at creating those alt text for your images.
Perfect.
I hope that answered your question.
That's a great question. Yeah. How? Oh,
one
let's talk
more
about.
question.
Go ahead.
There's one more question coming in from Cheryl. So how do you protect your proprietary information? will anything we give you be used for any purpose besides making an interactive ebook?
No, absolutely not. So when it is a multi-tenant architecture, so when we create an instance, the KITABOO will be a white labeled instance that we create for you. And the content that comes from you will only be used for your content delivery purpose. And we don't own any of that, whether it is your content or your user information. So all of that is owned by you, and we don't use it for anything beyond creating and delivering the content.
Right. We take security very seriously.
Yeah.
Coming to the next question, is this geared towards classroom-only studies or additional materials to support learning? In this case, a STEM book. Can that be covered?
Both. Again, a great question. It can be used for classroom as well as additional support learning as well. So if you look at KITABOO as a whole, we support a variety of markets. K-12 is one of our larger customer base, but we also work with professional societies, associations who support lifelong learning as well, and it's used for continuing education as well. So a variety of customers and variety of use cases as well. I think there's a question from Gomez which says
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
How easy
it's from yep, JC, go for it. Sorry.
How easy is it to add simulations in ebook? It is as simple as just adding the video that I showed you in the markup tool. So if you have simulations created, unfortunately, we won't be able to create the simulation on the studio or the KITABOO platform. But if you already have the simulation package, it is as simple as just adding any other markup tool. There's a markup called the HTML interactivity. So you just drag and drop and then upload your package to it. Again, if you want to see a demo of that, just set up a call with us, and then we can show you how that is done. I hope that answered.
Yeah. I think my last, any other final thoughts, questions people want to ask?
Go for it, guys. You have the floor. And just reiterating, the QR code will go offline in 5 minutes. So
yeah,
just no pressure, just giving you a timeline.
All great questions so far, but I'd still love to see if anybody has tried some of these interactivities and enhanced ebooks. If yes, give a shout out here. We'd love to connect.
Yeah, let us know.
Definitely. In case if you want a more deeper conversation coming in, you're always welcome to schedule a one-on-one, because I understand a comment might not be able to encompass all your doubts, per se. There's one coming in from Cheryl. Is there cost for users to have the platform or just cost for creating the enhanced ebooks?
Cheryl, there are different strategies which are used. Depending on the use case, we can work with you on the pricing. I would encourage you to just reach out to us, and we can set up a meeting to discuss this. Or if you're going to get your contact details, I'll reach out to you and share more information on the pricing.
Yeah, if you can put in that little pop-up, and JC will be able to reach back out to you. That would be great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cheryl.
I'm loving the questions that are coming in. Quite interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so thankful to be able to spend this time with all of you. Thank you for listening. And to me, I'll tell you, one of the most important things to me is to see folks that are really excited about education and are putting students first. And I'm so thankful that all of you are here and wanting to learn more about how you can serve those students better. So thank you so much for taking the time and putting those students first. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
There's one question coming in from Dorothy. It's actually more broader than engagement. She's asking, how easy is it to onboard schools.
Oh.
So, JC, you want to take that?
Leslie, I think it's in your wheelhouse.
I was just about to say this is my bread and butter.
Anyone can take it.
Yeah.
Both are
I will
excellent.
tell you, I could even look at the metrics right now and I could tell you how quick we are at this point. I'm going to pull it up so I can like really feel awesome about this. I feel really proud of the team. I'm thankful to be leading the team that does this. In the month of May, the onboarding, the total onboarding time has been 3.9 days. So if you consider that 3.9 days also is the amount of time it takes someone to get back to us, I'll tell you that my team is responding. I can also show you. My team is responding in 14 minutes. That's how long it takes our customer success team to respond back to you is 14 minutes on average. So it can be extraordinarily fast. I have found the thing that really slows it down is just getting a response back from schools. That's what gets us to 3.9 days. But the team is responding in 14 minutes.
Awesome.
That's a real good number.
Yeah,
and I
I'm pretty
believe
proud.
it's the same for district adoption as well, right?
Yep, that's
Because
a whole.
I keep hearing
whole
from you
district.
about that.
Yep. Our that's the month of May. So we've had a lot of onboarding, as you can imagine, in the month of May. People preparing for the fall, a lot of onboarding, and so that's average. So when you think about, I should say that's median. So when you think about, there are folks that are taking under 4 days for onboarding for entire school districts. And we are working in the United States, for example, which is the region I'm thankful to be working with. We have some of the largest school districts in the country. And I can tell you that many of those were very, very speedy as well. So I'm really thankful to be leading a team that is making that happen quickly.
Amazing. I think we are almost at the closing hour of our webinar. In case if you have any final questions, we have just one question that you can take, and before and we'll close off the session.
Oh, thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Okay. I think it was lovely having this webinar with EdWeek, and lovely as always having Leslie and JC do their magic.
Oh,
so thank you guys. Thank you everyone who was part of the webinar. Thank you team EdWeek. Thank you for being a part.
Thank you, Joe.
And definitely we'll be in touch soon. You will expect some emails coming from our end. Do try to reply, and let's help each other. Let's help each other grow. And yeah.
Great.
Wonderful.
Thank you, everybody.
On the other side.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.